Okay, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, but in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what it's like to have AI qualify leads for you, follow up with them for you, have a system that does all of the lead generation for you. And I'm gonna show you exactly an example of what that looks like with the live real estate conversation about a lead with a real estate agent and the follow up and all of those good things. And then exactly how to set this up for yourself and the workflows that we put in place so that we could actually have this happen all by itself and can happen over multiple conversations. So first we'll go over this conversation here. And our lucky winner for this example is Tammy. Tammy is a real estate agent out in Houston. So we reached out to them saying, hey, Tammy, I'm covering over the customer's name. Recently wrapped up, and we also asked for your address. This is how we have it set up for the people who work with us. An address of a deal they've closed on, just to show credibility when reaching out to real estate agents, as there's always people texting and calling these agents. So if there's any way we can show credibility, is through a deal that they've actually closed on. So recently wrapped up in Frisco and wondering, are you still licensed as an agent? Always looking to work with quality agents in Houston. Tammy responds saying, yes, I'm still licensed in Houston. AI picks up the conversation immediately. This is all happening by itself. Awesome. Thanks for confirming. Quick question. Do you ever work with homes needing updates or buildable lots? Tammy doesn't get back to us right away. So the AI is trained to follow up a day later. And so we hit them back. Just circling back. Do you ever help with properties needing improvements or buildable lots? Tammy says, yes. Great stuff. Do you have anything relatable that might work right now? They reply saying, no. No worries. Do you usually come across homes needing updates pretty often or just every now and then? And they reply saying, sometimes. We ask this question because with how these systems can be set up, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like in the back end, is you can train the AI to identify exactly what grade we should give that real estate agent to then dictate what type of follow-up they should get. So if they say something like, oh, I get them all the time, it would have added them to a specific follow-up and a workflow that we already have set up to where we reach out to them every week or 2 weeks. But if it's someone that is a real estate agent who, maybe works more retail type of properties and they don't really get these investor friendly homes, they probably say once a quarter. So then since they reply like that, we would then add them to a 30-day follow-up. And that helps us maintain the best quality leads every single time and follow up with people accordingly so that we're not over bugging them if it's not necessary, because not everyone should fall into the same bucket of follow-up. And we should be able to distinctly tell who is the type of agent that we're working with right now. So we ask that question, or the AI does for us, and then they respond saying sometimes. Then it's going to trigger that workflow like I was mentioning right now. And this is the exact workflow that triggers for them. They responded, this is based on agents' response indicating a monthly frequency, and we add them to a specific follow-up now that we've identified that they come across these potentially once a month and things like that. So we give them a certain type of follow-up for that. Ends the conversation here. Thanks for letting me know. I'll keep in touch in case something pops up. Appreciate your time. And now that they've been added to the follow-up, a week later, there's a message that gets sent out. This is specifically the way it's set up for this customer account, but this is all very customizable as long as you know how to set up these workflows. And hi, Tammy, it's been about a week. Curious if anything's popped up where you're looking to move. This is all happening by itself. Tammy responds saying not yet. Another workflow gets triggered, and these are the ones that we have in place so that we add them back to the follow-up so that we're always staying on top of leads and adding them back to the follow-up as money is made in the follow-up here. And so then the AI responds saying, thanks for the update, Tammy. I'll check back in with you down the line. If anything comes up in the meantime, just let me know. Always leaving the door open. They go ahead and like our message. And now we follow up with them 2 weeks later. Hope your deals are moving, Tammy. You've come across anything recently you'd float over. They didn't. Tammy's not responding too quickly to us. So a day later, we did go ahead and actually still have the follow-up set up in place for it because we know that we always just have to stay on top of leads. Circling back, Tammy, just looking to reconnect if the timing works, anything you're open to sharing. She then responds saying, can you let me know how much improvement you're willing to do? So it looks like she might have something for us. And the AI gives the clarification on exactly their buy box and the criteria. And this is what we have set up for them. This is very customizable as long as you know how to set these up. And I have a video, I'll probably leave it in the link in the description on like how to set this up fully for yourself. It's like an hour-long video, but I give exactly how I'll do it from start to finish. And you can then train it on the criteria exactly of how you look for deals whenever you're reaching out to real estate agents or if this is used for sellers and things like that. So absolutely, Tammy, I'm open to a wide range, anything from light cosmetic updates, paint, flooring, fixtures, to full gut renovations or even tear downs for new builds. These are the property that they actually take on. If you have something that needs a lot of work, that's totally fine. Just let me know the details and I'll take a look. Let me talk to the seller again. I know some, but not all. So it sounds like they might have something. Immediately, thanks. It sounds great. Or that sounds great, Tammy. Just let me know what you find after you talk with the seller. I appreciate you checking and keeping me in the loop. They then reply saying, no problem. You're welcome, Tammy. Have a great day. You too. Thank you. Take care. They then reach out again. Good morning. And they mention our customer name. I'm covering that up. Do you have a minute? And the AI responds, good morning, Tammy. Yes, I have a minute. How can I help? And again, this is not templated. This is just AI recognizing the conversation, responding accordingly as what's being texted to them. And so then they respond saying, I have a client that will be selling his mother's house but needs some work. She's not sure if she wants to do all of the work to put it on the market. I told her I would reach out to some investors to see if anyone may be interested. She has sent me pictures of the work that would need to be done in the bathroom as there was a leak and the ceiling in the downstairs bathroom would need to be replaced. She also has sent me a list of the other work that may need to be done. I'm stumbling over my words here. And the AI responds, thank you for sharing those details, Tammy. I'd definitely be interested in taking a look. If you're able to share the pictures and the list of needed repairs, I can review them and let you know what I think. Also, if you have the address or any more info about the property, that would be helpful too. Collecting as many details as possible is what we want to do, and we've trained the AI to do so that you don't have to go ahead and do that, or a VA or a lead manager. And so then they respond saying, does this sound like something you may be interested in? Clarifying for them, yes, Tammy, this definitely sounds like something I'd be interested in. Properties that need work, especially with issues like bathroom repairs and ceiling replacement, are right in my wheelhouse. If you can send over the pictures, the list of repairs, and any property details you have, I'll take a closer look and get back to you quickly. She sends over photos, and luckily has photos, and it looks like it does need some work, so this is right up our alley, like it's saying, the AI. And then they respond saying, this is what has to be repaired. With a small area of sheetrock and upstairs bathroom that just has water damage, line but isn't broken, gives more details. AC works fine, compressor comes on sometimes, then goes off quickly. It has the expensive amount of details through it. We'll probably need a new electrical breaker box because this one was put in 1975. So this one's going to need some work here. And the AI picks up those details, recognizes the photos. Thank you for providing such a detailed list of repairs and the description of the photos. Tammy, based on what you shared, this property definitely fits the type of projects I'm interested in. I'm comfortable with homes that need significant updates, including water damage. This is specific to the conversation that's happening here, so you can recognize that it has that intelligence, as this one has water damage from the photos and what it was showing there, and AC replacement, electrical upgrades, and general modernization. This is specific to the conversation that's happening here. This is not some sort of template. If your client decides she'd rather sell as is instead of taking on all the repairs, I'd be happy to discuss further and make an offer. If you have the address or any additional details like square footage, number of bedroom, bathrooms, or her ideal timeline, please send them over when you can. I appreciate you thinking of me for this opportunity. Just moving the conversation forward, always gathering details, always asking for more information so that you don't have to do this for yourself and you're not necessarily wasting your time to do this, but you can now have AI do it for you. And think about it this way. If you're paying a VA to do this for you and they're not probably doing as good of a job getting back to them immediately when they should, and overall asking this length of detail whenever we're reaching out to these properties, because the AI has been trained on exactly what type of details we're looking for when we're talking real estate transactions. So Tammy responds lovely saying, the address of the property is, goes ahead and gives the address. The children are still in the process of moving items out of the house, as some of them live out of state and are making arrangements to get here to get their items the way they want. It is a 4-bedroom, half bath built in 1975, 2390 square feet. Lot is 11,000. They are pushing for end of January 2026, so everyone has time to get the items out. Workflow gets triggered. This is to notify you that like basically all of the details have been covered, so you could technically step in now, and the AI is now just going to continue that conversation for you to re-clarify things. So thank you for sharing the address and additional details, Tammy. The timeline for the end of January 2026 works well, recognizing that that's what is stated here. It's not some sort of template, because most automations, especially when they're built out on systems like Ohio Level or any other automation tools, they're all going to be templated. They're not using real AI to be able to have these conversations for them and having trained them properly so that it's free flowing and it's naturally having these conversations with leads, so that Tammy has no idea right now that this is AI, right? That's the beauty of the intelligence that's being set up in place, especially with some of them living out of state, which is recognizing again that they mentioned that there are some living out of state. A 4-bed, 2.5 bath home, nearly 2,400 square feet on a large lot is definitely of interest. I appreciate you keeping me in the loop and providing all the information. If anything changes or if your client has questions about selling as is, as this is what investors like to do, please let me know. I'm happy to work with their timeline and make the process as smooth as possible. This is specifically set up for investors, but think about it this way. If you have a different buying criteria and a different buy box, the AI is going to respond accordingly to that. If you don't work these type of deals, it'll let them know, I appreciate you sending me all this information, but this is something that I wouldn't work with, right? But they luckily do, and this is what investors like to gobble up as deals. So the address of the property, she go ahead and gives the address. Actually, I'm stumbling on my words here because this is the exact same thing. I just kind of attached these photos. So if we scroll down here, I'll have the conversation with her later this week. Thank you. Thanks, Tammy. I'll review the property and get back to you soon with next steps. Again, triggering their workflow so that you know, hey, this one's all wrapped up. All the details I've been able to gather. I've done my job here as the AI employee here. Go ahead and step in. I appreciate that. They then go ahead and call, and now, you know, they're working the lead. So think about this happening over and over and over and over again. Never having to worry about getting back to leads or following up with them or qualifying them. You've got the AI trained for it, right? So like if you're still doing that, think about it. AI can replace that for you. You don't have to do this yourself anymore. This could happen even if you have a 9 to 5, if you're working a job. or you frankly don't have time to get back to leads every single day, this can happen hundreds and hundreds of times over, to where previously you would have to have a suite of VAs doing this all for you, or your lead managers would have to be absolutely dialed. But now with AI, it can do all of this for you, and you don't have to worry about getting back to people. It's going to do it every single time. System automations and follow-ups have been all put in place so this gets taken care of. So now I'm going to go over exactly how to set this up for yourself so that you can have these same type of conversations happening for your leads. So actually, we're going to go ahead and do it. I have a screenshot of exactly what we have set up for some of these actual workflows. And I'm going to actually open this up. I think I already have the tab open here. And this is actually open at one of the accounts. So I'm going to show you exactly what was the follow-ups and the workflows that were set and put in place as the conversation was happening. So I'll be dancing back and forth. I hope you guys don't get a little confused here, but I want to show you the power of this. So we'll go back to the conversation here. And as you can see from the tippity top right here with Tammy, she went ahead and got added to a grade B follow-up, add realtor to grade B follow-up. So this is the specific workflow we have in place here where we add the realtor to the grade B follow-up. I'm just going to open it up really quickly here. And these are how the automations have been set up. This simply updates their actual opportunity so that you get notified, a notification gets sent once an opportunity gets updated that they have been moved to grade B. As you can see here, grade B follow-up gets updated. This is the pipeline that they have, agent outreach. And that's the automation that gets put in place. From this actual workflow, they will get actually updated from this other workflow here. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing, but it's just, think about it this way, is like you're handing off the baton every single time, whether it's from workflow to workflow or from AI agent to AI agent. You're just simply handing off the baton of what to do with this specific opportunity. So we have a workflow here where we set up a pipeline stage trigger to where as soon as something gets updated in that specific stage, so as you can see here, pipeline stage gets changed to grade B follow-up, and you can set up the pipeline and go high level. So you can have this for yourself as well. And as soon as it gets updated to grade B, this specific trigger updates this specific workflow. So if workflow trigger is the specific one for the grade B follow-up, I think I can pull it up right here just to show you very quickly. And let's scroll down here. Yep, if this specific trigger is for the pipeline stage gets changed to the grade B, which is what just happened in that conversation, then we'll go ahead and remove some tags, update some fields that need to be updated. This is how we have the system set up. It's pretty simple. It's just so that we can track what stage of the follow-up they should be in. That's for the grade C. This one's grade B. And this is how we have it organized. But the most simple part is that you would just simply give them a tag just so that whenever you're looking at smart lists, you can actually pull up that tag of, who just got graded grade B. And then we add them. Again, we're passing over the baton to now the follow-up SMS workflow. And I'll go ahead and pull that up. So that passes the baton to this workflow right here. And realtor follow-up. And then we'll scroll down here. Realtor follow-up SMS. That's the one that we just saw. And this is the one where the baton gets passed now to this workflow here. And so now the contact and the opportunity is moving through this stage, and also set up whenever a tag is given to them, just in case it's triggered that way as well. So we remove them from all these workflows, remove them from any sort of opportunities. And now we activate the second follow-up bot. This is going to be the one that's turned on so that it can pick up the conversation at any point in case they reach out whenever they're not supposed to reach out. In terms of we initiate the follow-up for them, we still want to have an AI on and active in case they reply to us, and we can pick up that lead for them. So we go ahead and update some contact fields. This is all organizational things that will keep the actual workflows up and running, but I'm going to break this down to the most simple parts, is that you just need to add them to some sort of follow-up sequence, and these are organized by grades. So if we zoom out here, it looks a little bit complicated, but I'm going to keep it simple. Just imagine each of these little icons as steps to the next action. And so for here, since this was a grade B tag and a grade B lead, they got brought down this branch right here. So if tags includes grade B, or if that's the actual trigger, which is what was given to this specific lead, Tammy, we then go ahead and find the opportunity in that pipeline, update it to grade B in case it hasn't been updated. So we just make sure that that's been updated, update some fields. And now this is the part where we saw that a text was sent actually a week later. So this is what's set up specifically for this campaign. First entry, and the first entry means that it's someone that we've only reached out to for the very first time. So we reach out to them 7 days later. So that's why we wait 7 days here. And as you can see in the conversation here, I'll go back to it right here. You'll be able to see that that first message gets sent on the 17th as when we pick up the conversation, and the trigger workflow happens here, which is the one for the grade B follow-up. Then we reach out to them 7 days later on the 24th. And that was this message. Hey, hi, Tammy. It's been about a week. Curious if anything's popped up. You're looking to move. So that's exactly what happened here. We waited 7 days, have a slight time delay, drip them into the actual workflow, update some of the stages with like an operation field here. This is simply for tracking. Again, we update the opportunity now to let them know, hey, Okay, now a follow-up just got sent. So you're constantly seeing what's going on, and these are automations that are all firing all by itself from the AI and the automation that you can put in place within Go High Level. So we then go ahead and update them to that opportunity stage, and now we're passing over the baton. We're adding them to another workflow, Realtor Follow-Up Bot Conversational AI. This is the one that actually turns on the AI. So we're going to leave this page right here, and then we're going to go to this one. This is the one where it passes over the baton. And this is the actual workflow that then turns on the AI to now have the conversation whenever they reply back. So we update some fields here. This one got triggered. This is just if else statements. These are pretty simple in terms of like we're just figuring out exactly what type of lead it is because we break it down into what type of graded message they should receive. So I'll zoom out here, but as you can see, this one's for grade B. There's another if else that's for grade C because we like to have different messages and different templates that get sent out for grades. And all of these are very customizable simply to re-engage with the lead. But once the AI picks up the conversation, that's all free form. There is no template behind that. These are simply just to initiate the conversation with the lead. So we then go ahead and actually send them a message. And since this was for Tammy and she was grade B, she would have went down this branch right here and it would have split them into several different paths with different templated follow-up messages. And these are very customizable as long as you set up these workflows for yourself, or if you work with us and we'd go ahead and tell you how to customize these so that you have a specific type of follow-up for a specific type of lead. You want to send out this message to grade B realtors, then you would go ahead and change that actual template and it'll update it in the workflow for you. Or if you're reaching out to sellers and you want to follow up with them a certain way, then you would update that and this is what would be set up in place right after we actually send out that message, the grade B follow-up, and whatever template gets sent out that they land on, we then immediately activate the Realtor Follow-Up Bot. This is going to be the one that's going to re-engage with them in the conversation and determine whether they have a property or not. And if they do, then it's going to pass over that baton to the one that's going to start collecting property details. And if they don't, then it's simply going to add them back to the follow-up. And this is a constant loop that will happen because we want to make sure that money is made in the follow-up. And so we need to have something that revolves over and over again, checking in, seeing if they have something. If they don't, add them back to the follow-up. If they do have a property, then we go ahead and pass that baton over to the one that starts collecting details. You get notified and that's when you step in. So that's what is set up with this. And we have to make sure that we turn on this AI so that now it picks that up as soon as this follow-up gets sent. So we turn on the AI. We're going to have it wait 1 day in case they don't actually reply. And then it passes over the baton to the no response workflow. So that only happens if they don't reply within a day. So if we were to look over to Tammy, let's see, because I know Tammy wasn't the most responsive. So if we were to look at her conversation here, we go ahead and have the follow-up sent a week later. Hi, Tammy, it's been about a week. Curious if anything's popped up you're looking to move. She luckily responded on time and said, not yet. Thanks for updating me, Tammy. I'll check back in with you down the line if anything comes up. Again, it triggers this workflow, which is the one that adds them back to the follow-up. She then likes that message, and that's when the second batch of it happens. So, and then we reach out 2 weeks later. And so what that looks like is, if I were to go to this one, it happens on this one right here, where like, think about it this way, just batons are getting passed back and forth between different workflows and different AIs to be able to facilitate this whole conversation. And so now, since this was someone that had already been through the first entry of it, as you can see when it breaks down right here, the first entry is simply the 7 days. So if we were to go up here, the 7 days happens up here as we send them a follow. We start the conversation with them on the 17th. And then a week later, that's the first stage. So we send them a message. Now the next one actually happens 2 weeks later. So that's the one that gets fired off right here, where we actually send them a message 14 days later. And again, this is specific follow-up that's set up for them. The cadence is always customizable. You just simply go into the wait step that you set up in Go High Level and change the date, right? You can change that and customize that to how you want it to be, but this is how it's set up for these type of leads with working with real estate agents. So we wait 14 days, have a slight time delay, drip them into the actual workflow, set up stages that we updated in terms of internal KPIs, and then update again the opportunity that a follow-up has been sent. You'll be able to track everything that's going on all by itself. And so then now we pass over the baton again to the Realtor Follow-Up Bot, which is this actual workflow right here. And so we go back here, you're going to see that they get added from the very beginning right here. And now we determine, okay, what did they get triggered from? They're a grade B real estate agent. So they would go down this path. They're grade B. Now they fall into one of these stages of which type of follow-up message they get sent to. So it's one of these here, whether it's the grade Bs down here or the ones up here, all the different templates that have already been put in place. And now they get triggered. A message gets sent out. Let's say they went down to this patch, which is the version 7 of the follow-up. It activates the Realtor Follow-Up Bot immediately so that it picks up a conversation as soon as they reply. Again, if they don't reply, then it's going to wait 1 day and then add them over to this workflow, which is the no response one, which is just a drip campaign. And again, it's just passing over the baton to that specific stage. So if we look back at Tammy on the second go round after we send a message 2 weeks later, Tammy actually falls into that workflow. So Tammy didn't respond to us immediately. So we sent a message a day later, circling back. Tammy just looking to reconnect if the timing works. She then luckily gets back to us on this message. And again, the AI is always turned on immediately after an SMS is sent. So that's why it's able to pick up the conversation immediately. As you can see, this was sent at 5:09 and the AI is picking up within minutes. And that's when it continues the conversation. Absolutely, Tammy, I'm open to a wide range. It continues the whole conversation. And this is now the AI working from itself. This isn't any sort of workflow. We are just setting up the AI to be put in place where it needs to be turned on. And now the conversation is being picked up by the AI. They then go ahead and give those details as we're going over the conversation earlier. And again, we always keep it on in case something like this happens, which Tammy did. Good morning. They reach out to us. Do you have a minute? And then AI is again picking up that conversation. They then give these length amount of details. And now this one's always responding on time because now it's engaged with the conversation. It goes over that lead and this is all being triggered. And then it triggers this workflow to where it's going to actually notify you that, hey, we've got a really potential deal here. It's going to send you an SMS reminder and a notification. And what that looks like as well is if I go to the workflows right here, I believe it's the one right here where on the pipeline stages, it works the same way to where as soon as something gets updated, and that's what that workflow trigger does, as soon as something gets updated within that pipeline, you will get notified of the lead, which is the best way to actually have the speed to lead happen. Not only is the AI going to respond immediately, but you get notified immediately. So as soon as a property gets submitted, there's an internal notification that gets sent out if you have the app downloaded for actually Go High Level. Or we can also have an SMS reminder that gets sent out. And there's other different ways you can send out type of notifications here, whether it's WhatsApp, email, and things like that, so that you get notified. And I also believe they have Slack as well. If you use Slack, you can connect Slack and then have it send a message to a public channel and then everyone on your team gets notified if you use Slack. So, and again, we still turn on that bot so that we keep it on to continue the conversation until you actually come back and step in. Because maybe you can't get back to that lead immediately, but the AI is always going to be there for you. So we still keep it on and just send over that notification that something has been triggered. And if we go back to the conversation here, then you can see the AI continues that conversation. It's gathering more details. Again, triggers another workflow to let you know that it's kind of completed everything. Thanks, Tammy. I'll review the property and get back to you soon with next steps. And then they actually call us and the call gets completed and now you're actually working the lead. So that's how you can achieve that same result with a conversation like this. And there's a lot of workflows and automations in the back end, but they're very simple to do when you understand that they're just puzzle pieces and like action steps that you're handing over. And you're simply passing the baton between this stage and this stage, depending on if-else statements. So if they say yes to this response, or if they reply within 1 day, then they go down this branch. If they don't reply within 1 day, then they go down this branch and they get added to this workflow. It's just simply looking at everything in a step-by-step sales process. And that's how you can have this set up for whatever type of leads you actually work. We work in the real estate sector. So this is the type of automations and workflows we set up for reaching out to real estate agents to have investment properties. But this same type of workflow can set up for working direct to seller leads if you are in the real estate space. Or if you're in a different industry, you just got to find a way that your lead sales process works and then be able to automate that back end to where AI is going to be the one having the conversation for you, which used to be you or your VA or any other lead manager. Now it's the AI, and now you just have to set up the reminders and the follow-ups that happen using the automations and the workflows that you can build out in Go High Level or any other automation tool you look to use. So that's how you have this set up. If you're interested in potentially having something like this set up for your business, feel free to book a call. I think we'll have a link actually down below. Or you can actually check it out. I think I have like an hour-long video, and I don't know if we'll put the description here, but you can actually check that one out as well, where I go super in depth on how to set up one of these actual AI agents and walk you through the workflows that we have put in place, just like I showed you here, so that you can then have this for your actual business yourself as well. So again, if you liked the video, if you got some value from seeing how powerful these tools are, especially in the real estate sector, just overall think any sort of leads in general, just set up and train an AI to do all those conversations, qualify leads for you, follow up for you. It's the technology is there, right? It's not just a buzzword. The technology is there to absolutely do it. So if you got value, if you like the video, it's all kind of just where you can see this implemented to your business, feel free to comment down below. I'd love to see exactly what real estate sector, or if you're in another industry, how this would apply to your business. And if you need help with that, I absolutely love to make a video or just reach out to me and I'll be able to tell you and point you in the right direction as to what tools you would need to set up. And then also there's an hour-long video that I have about how to set this up from start to finish. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.